Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Interview Preparation by Dolly Kumari. And before any further view, I will start today's topic, and that is very important and it is related to your resume. And today we are going to find out that there are so many mistakes in your resume that lead you to not get your resume screened by the recruiter, and it never goes to the hiring manager. So if your resume has so many mistake, or so you avoid so many things, so it is never going to be shortlisted. If you are not completing the first process of the interview, that is your resume shortlisting, screening of resume, that we say in HR terms, so how you are going to give the interview? So today we are going to find out 10 mistakes that often made by freshers or experienced professional that leads to their resume rejection by the recruiter. And one of the biggest mistake is personal information extravaganza. So this is very crucial, and always remember that your resume is your professional experience showcasing letter. Not, it's not something related to you personally, but it is related to your professional experience. So you should be mindful enough to exclude or include the relevant information which needs to be there in the resume. So first we are going to discuss is about your resume is not your autobiography. And what do you mean by that? What does this sentence wants to tell you? So there is no need to write about your zodiac sign. So we have Scorpio, so many signs, but it is not your marriage proposal. So you are not going to write the zodiac sign. You do not need to write the marital status, that is not so relevant. You can mention it, but it is not so mandatory that you have to include this. Then comes the religion, the only part which people fight over their entire life is religion. But trust me, in job you don't need to mention your religion, and this information can be excluded from your resume, because your resume is your professional way of expressing what kind of experience you hold, what is the opportunity you are looking for. So you cannot mention all these details by bombarding the recruiter with so much information that is unnecessary. So please be mindful enough to not include your religion, marital status, zodiac sign, hobbies list. This is a tricky point. Like when you are a fresher, so you do not have so much things to mention. So in the start we mentioned that I like reading, listening to music. So these kind of hobbies you can mention, but do not make so much a big list that I like to go to here and there on weekends, and these are the things which I enjoy doing. So you do not need to put so much personal information. Rather than, you should mention the hobbies that will really intrigue the interviewer, that yeah, she or he is the right fit for this role, and we should really give her a chance or him a chance. So this is the one thing I wanted to tell you. So keep it simple and relevant. Mention your name, phone number, professional email, city and country. This is optional. You can mention it or you cannot mention it. It totally depends on you. So when you are an experienced person, there is so much things to write. You cannot give space to these information, so you can avoid. But if you want to write city, country, it's your choice. Now comes second point is time traveling work history. So no one needs needs your career history starting from your lemonade stand at age 6. So suppose I am going for the role of accountant and I am mentioning them that I like dancing. It will really personally, me as an interviewer, I would think why she is telling me this. I don't need this information. I just want to know what she knows about journal entry or bookkeeping or balance sheet. Why she is giving me this information that she likes dancing and she was doing dancing for 2 years. That doesn't make any sense to me. So personally, if it doesn't make sense to me, how you are going to justify this information to the interviewer? So you do not need to mention all the information that you have, all the jobs you have done. Please mention only those details, only those work experience, those are relevant to your current job profile. So they can judge you on that, and they can really think that the person has the same skill we are looking for, and why should we not hire him? So quality is always higher side than quantity. You do not need to mention all the information that I was doing 15 days teaching experience, 30 days as a helper job. That doesn't help in your job. So this is the second point. Now third point, bland objective and statement. So the HR sees every day so many resumes, and your resume will only stand out if you write something that is relevant to the profile they are looking for. So every person writes seeking a challenging position in a dynamic environment. And suppose you are looking for the role of accountant and you are writing this information that and recruiters see this 200 times in a day, and it is really true. So instead of mentioning this, that you can mention that the role you are looking for and the skill you have. Suppose you can write, I am looking for a job and in accounts, and I have experience in tele. I have worked at tele for 2 years. So these are the valuable information that you can mention. So we have an example, accounts graduate with Excel and Tele experience, looking to support financial reporting and improve accuracy in a growing organization. This this sentence sounds so much better and so much authentic than the above one, seeking a challenging position in a dynamic environment. So be specific, that will really stand out, and you will be on the higher side always. Now fourth, hobbies overload. Now what happens when you writing a resume for the first time and you do not know what to mention? So you bombard the resume with so much information that you do not think. But always try to avoid so many things like strong worker, team player, discipline. So less is always more. So always use the hobbies or trait that will be useful for your job. You can write a good financial analysis knowledge. I can analyze the ratios, accounting ratio. So these are the good skills that will lead you. Now, fifth, visual overdrive. Your resume is not an art project. Too many colors, shapes, boxes, and icon can make it impossible to read. So I recall this while I was in my graduation year. I made my resume, and the first line I highlighted with blue, and the rest of them was black. And now I see my resume, I can analyze this, and that we sometimes re I'm sorry guys for the noise. And yeah, So I was telling you that I can really relate to this information, that I also used to make same kind of resume when I was in my graduation year. But now as I have experience and I have made so many resumes, and I have helped my sister also with her resume, so now I know that how we can make good resume, and we do not need to use so many font color and different kind of font, and we do not need to use different shapes and everything. We can use a simple and concise resume. Now here comes email address from another domain. So always you should have always a professional email id. So you can see what kind of email id they are using: partyanimal at email.com, cute boy rockstar. So these are, like, it will make you look so uh, I would say it's not good to use these kind of email id. You cannot use this. Be professional, because you are looking for a job, you are not going for some, I don't know what to say, but yeah, be professional. Use these kind of email id where it's your first name, last name, suppose Dolly Kumari uh, at email.com. So these kind of, it looks professional. So don't go with these kind of words. Use your name and the domain, that's it. Now comes 7th, skill soup. Listening every skill on earth doesn't impress anyone. Suppose here: MS Word, communication, team player, hardworking, honest, breathing, etc. etc. So we there is so many skills, but still it doesn't look good. It doesn't catch my attention. So in replacement of this, we can use accounting tools, financial analysis, GST, TDS, Excel formulas, reconciliation. So these are the things you can mention as a fresher also, that you have knowledge of these, and it will really help you to crack the screening process and get into the interview. Now, eighth point, the resume odyssey: gap without explanation. You do not need to mention all the gaps in your resume. You can tell in the in the interview to the interviewer, but you do not need to mention all the gaps. What is the reason behind your gap? Family responsibility, health reason, preparing for exam. You do not need to mention all those details. That's not relevant. You can mention in the interview but not in the resume. Now comes ninth, too much information. As from the starting we were reading that there was so much, too much information. So your resume is not a life story. Avoid long paragraph. Describe every points in bulletins. Rather than using so long sentences, you should use short sentences, and try to use less I, me, myself. These kind of words you should not use. Rather you should mention in bullet points the kind of works and responsibility you have done, and show your highlight achievement, show impact. So one of the example we have covered is improved invoice accuracy by 20% by organizing records and cross checking entries. So this looks so good to listen and hear. So rather than mentioning the long paragraph, you can mention like this. Now comes 10th point: avoid long paragraph. Huge blocks of text in equal to instant rejection. Recruiters skim, they don't read novels. So it is true that if I am a HR and I have so many resume to go through, I cannot read the long paragraph. Rather than if you have wrote in bulletin, so I will give it a read. But if you have written in paragraph, that is so tough to read, and it will take so much time and effort of mine. So rather than mentioning long paragraph, that doesn't, that will not look cool and professional. So always mention in short lines, bullet points. So that will really help you. So this is all the information that I have related to your resume screening. And I hope this information will really help you, and try to incorporate in your resume and make the best resume out of it. And let me know if you have any queries or something. I will give response to each and every query. Thank you so much for watching.